I'm Stacy Holmes, and this is Glordinary, a few moments where we celebrate God's glory and champion the ordinary. I'm glad you're here. I have this blue and white tote bag. It comes with me just about everywhere. It's basically my whoopee at this point. You know, an emotional support item. Wow, that escalated quickly. It started as a catch-all bag during a busy season, probably a Maycember if you know what I mean, and my tote bag, full. This does not make my minimalist soul happy. Yet day by day, more and more goes into my tote bag. Bills I need to pay, lesson plans I'm making, curriculum I'm researching, college checklists, vacation itineraries, my planner, reading glasses, random protein bars at all times, a couple of books I'm in the middle of, the proof copy of Sophia's book, and the life insurance policy that's about to term out and needs renewed. Ugh, I'm tired just looking at the tote bag. And here's the thing. My tote bag, never empty. I work and work to empty it, to complete all the assignments in there. But it will never be empty. Even after I'm done homeschooling, even after the vacation's over, even after I've paid every bill, even after I've answered every last medical question to renew the life insurance, which I think is their strategy to kill you off before they have to pay you the money. But the tote bag will never be empty. And maybe that's the problem. I keep thinking Sabbath happens after the tote bag is empty, like rest is a reward for getting everything done. But what if that's backwards? Because if Sabbath waits until I'm caught up, I'll never get there. It's not for lack of trying to empty the tote bag either. I work so hard to clear it out, to take all these somethings in the bag and make them nothing in the bag. Nothing to pay, nothing to grade, nothing to do, but I'm clearly no magician because hard as I try, my somethings never disappear. But honestly, what would I catch up on if my tote bag was empty? What would I do? Would I visit with a friend? Would I try the new recipe? Would I sit at the piano, grab that favorite fiction book? What would it look like if all my somethings stopped? I can't even imagine having nothing screaming for my attention. Can you? But maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Maybe the goal isn't an empty tote bag. Maybe the goal is a chance for my soul to catch up on nothing. Because let's be honest, the tote bag ain't going away. The question isn't whether I'll finish everything. The question is whether I'll stop to remember this good and generous God, to remember I'm more than what's in the tote bag. And that's where Sabbath comes in. We're wired for Sabbath. We're wired to catch up on nothing. If you don't believe me, one only needs to look back to Genesis 2. We chatted about this on episode 17, Enough is Enough, Sabbath Stopping. And by now, we're 3 weeks into our Summer of Sabbath-Revisited series, a chance to peek back 2 years later on Sabbath. It's interesting to me that God introduces Sabbath, not as a noun, but as a verb. Our word Sabbath comes from the Hebrew verb meaning to stop. And it's no accident we see it straight out of the gate in Genesis 2. And this is what we refer to as the law of first mention. It helps us understand a little more clearly some concepts that can get tricky. And I'd wager a guess that Sabbath is a bit of a tricky concept for you and for me. So let's refresh with the first mention of Sabbath in Genesis 2, verse 3. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. How does this tie in with the tote bag, Stace? I'm getting there. We see this word holy. He made the day holy. And you gotta love those fancy religious words that we all struggle to define, right? The Hebrew for holy is, ready for this? Holy, but W-H-O-L-L-Y, as in whole, not part, but whole. God called the seventh day holy because he stopped. He rested. It was holy because of the rest, not because of the work, not because of the productivity, not because he cleaned out his tote bag and finally there were no more somethings in the bag. No, the day was holy, was whole, W-H-O-L-E, because he stopped to catch up on nothing. God blessed the seventh day as a whole day, a day to be, to stop, to become whole, a day to catch up on nothing. Not because he needs it, but because I do, and I'd suspect you do too. He models how to stop, how to set down the tote bag. It catches my notice and it relieves my overachiever, productivity queen soul to see that in Genesis 2, God blessed not the results, not the achievements, not the amount that's in the tote bag. He blessed the stopping. He blessed the walking away from the tote bag, setting it down, closing it up. He blessed the rest. He blessed the day to catch up on nothing, a whole day to come back to my whole self. Because who I am is a lot more than what's jammed in that tote bag. Who am I when I'm not homeschooling? Who am I when I'm not podcasting? Who am I when I'm not paying bills, making plans, answering questions, carrying all the things, when I'm not taking care of everyone else all the livelong day? Sabbath reminds us we're more than what we do. And as someone who lives to cross things off lists, I find that both comforting and kind of annoying. And if I'm really honest, I think Sabbath should happen after my tote bag's empty. But God says Sabbath happens when my tote bag's full. After all, what good is an empty tote bag if at the end I'm left with an empty soul too? Sabbath is my reminder that the real goal isn't to empty out the tote bag. The real goal is to give our souls a chance to catch up, to linger a little longer over that cup of coffee, to listen to the birds, to take the walk, to watch the sunrise because Lord knows I'm basically 108 and already asleep by sunset, to pull out the board game for a cutthroat game of Monopoly, full well knowing there's 4 baskets of laundry to be folded, full well knowing said laundry's actively getting more wrinkled while you catch up on nothing. And come Monday, the clothes will still be wrinkled, but your soul won't be. Because maybe a chance to catch up on nothing is the very something you need, the very something I need too. Remember, you're not alone in this. I'm praying for you, friend. Have a glordinary day.